Am I the asshole for using my husband's salary to make a point to his family after he told me I should stand up for myself instead of expecting him to do it for me? I don't know. We'll see. My husband and I are doing okay financially. We make enough to not worry about rent and necessities. We are saving a decent amount and have the scope for growth in our careers. Good for you. I make a little more than a third of our combined income. We are both in our late 30s and we have 2 6-year-old boys. Okay, okay, you're getting it going. All right, I have never liked my husband's family. Okay, most of them, anyways, because they have a lot of old-fashioned opinions and don't really approve of me. We don't have a lot of contact, so it's okay though. Isn't it crazy how often that happens with the whole in-law thing? Wacky. My husband's cousin's wedding is this week, and they are getting married in our city. So he offered for his parents and aunt and uncle. Parents and aunt and uncle to stay with us. Bride and groom are renting a place. It is a bit of a squeeze, but it is working. They have been there for 2 days now, and on the first day, I heard them having a whole discussion on how it's so sad that our children won't get to have a proper childhood with a mom at home, like my husband and his cousin got. Well, they were in the living room, and I was in the kitchen, and they knew I could hear. Okay. I was stewing, but I don't really like confrontation, so I didn't say anything. Later, I asked my husband if he could please tell them to shut up with the snide comments about me. He said that's just their opinion, and it's not really hurting me. Kind of sounds like it is. You best believe I'm speaking up on my wife, bro. Who do I got to tell off? I'm telling you right now. I'll tell off anybody. On my side of the family? From my wife? You have to be smoking crack. Anyways, that's the mother of my children. That's the mother of my children. You can't, come on. Tell your mom to fuck off, you know? She'll learn. I don't know, maybe, I don't know. But I don't know. I feel like I just don't have a crazy enough mom to where I ever have to worry about something like this. You know? I don't have a mom that hates the wife type situation. He said, that's just their opinion, blah, blah, blah. If I'm bothered, I should learn to stick up for myself. And that he can't always do it for me. Oh, he sounds like he's really got your back there. That's a crazy thing to say when you're talking about in-laws, though. Because everyone knows the rule is, like, you as the person, if you're blood related to somebody, you get to trash talk endlessly. Your significant other, they also get to trash talk, but not at the level that you can. It's like a little hidden rule there where it's like, hey, slow down a little bit. I get to say that, you don't get to say that part. You know, it's like our little special, you know. It's kind of like a very common thing, okay? So it's wild that he would say just stick up for yourself, because you defending her is going to go over much better than her defending herself against her sisters. Or not sisters, or family, you know, in-laws, whatever. I'm just saying, that's my outlook on that. Anyways, this sort of struck a nerve because it's true that I usually ask him to do small things like telling the drive-thru person if our order is wrong. Because it just makes me see that that's my... I don't handle... If something's wrong, I'm just going to eat it, you know? That's something that the significant other goes through for me. I'm not about to... Nope, I don't mind. I said no pickles, but there's a pickle. I'll eat the pickle. It's fine. I don't care. But I'm not, you know... Nothing. I'm not allergic to anything or whatever. Struck a nerve, small thing, drive-thru person, because it just makes me feel weird and guilty. But somehow it feels like more his responsibility because his family is involved here. Because it's his family involved here. Yes, exactly. That's what I said. That's the tangent I went off on halfway through this paragraph, where I basically said, kind of hard for you to defend yourself against in-laws. Way easier to defend yourself against blood-related family, and it'd be a much easier thing for him to do than you. Him defending you in that situation is way different than, like, the drive-through situation thing. Who cares? Who cares? I don't know. Anyway, so today my father-in-law made one more pointed comment during dinner, and I said, your son makes XXX. We live in a big city and rent is XXX. We literally cannot live on his salary, so I don't know why you think I should be home all day. They're pretty quiet after that. Now my husband is really angry with me because I put him down in front of his family. How did you put him down? Well, I mean, he can't... Here's the thing. You gotta, if you're the dude in this situation, you have to not let your ego get to you in this moment, because you told her to defend herself. And she didn't lie. She didn't lie. You could get mad if she implied blah, 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 or that you weren't making enough money and you were some loser, blah, blah, blah. But she simply pointed out that you just cannot live on his salary alone. So she can't stay home all day. You know what I'm saying? It's just, how can you get mad at her in that you told her to defend herself and she didn't lie? It's not like she went, you shut up, you fat bitch, Deborah. It's not like she went at your mom like that, bro. She just simply said, hey, he makes this much, rent is this much, we both need to work. And he's like, whoa, what the fuck? Are you implying that I can't just carry everything on my own? Put him down in front of his family who are all richer than us and will look down on him. Ew. Little, what do they call that? Classist family, I suppose? Strange, weirdo behavior. Ugh. I hate, like, there's nothing wrong with having money, man. There's nothing wrong with being rich. But if you're treating people like shit because they make less than you, solely on that, like, they can be a piece of shit and be more broke than you. And in that case, you know my logic on that. Just rail on their broke ass. Like, just hating somebody because they make not as much money. It's wild to me, bro. Anyways, definitely not the asshole. Your husband and in-laws, however. Common sense dictates that if your family has a problem with your spouse, you have their back. Still, I think you handled things perfectly given the fact that your husband is a textbook and doesn't defend you when he should. Also, is he a teenager? Why is he so impressed about his family knowing such trivial things? I don't know. I doubt it's a teenager. Knowing how this subreddit works, this is, both in our late 30s. I was about to say, you know how it is. This subreddit, they could both be 50 years old. And you'll be like, why the fuck are they arguing like this? Everyone sucks here. Your in-laws sound awful. You should stick up for yourself, but more importantly, he needs to stick up for you. But what you said was demeaning. You essentially said he doesn't make enough for you to stay home. In other words, you said it's his fault. What? You said it's his fault. No, there's no one to blame here for this. There's no one to blame here. You're putting blame in a situation where there is no blame. It's just, she's getting yelled at, and she responded, hey, we just don't make enough money. That's not like saying it's his fault. Because in theory, that could just be your fault. Or like, who knows? Like, in theory, hey, guess what? It's your fault because you didn't invest in a stock. You didn't invest in GameSpot stock in 2020 or whenever that whole big, situation happened, and make a quick, 10 million or something, and then dip out and take care of your kids on just, solid investments for the rest of your life. She said, hey, stop being so fucking mean to me. I have to work because we can't just do it on one income. And you're like, huh. If it's anyone's fault, it's his employers for not paying him more. Like, what the... Not the asshole for telling them how it is, but I don't think you need to give the details. A response of, well, the cost of living here is high, and we can't afford for me to be a stay-at-home mom. And that is literally the case for nearly 75% of families in the USA. It's 2024, which they would have still been mad. Coddle the feelings of a person who didn't give a shit. Yeah, literally not what I said. I'd be pissed if my partner blurted out, what? How much I make to anyone? Yeah, but you're being realistic. Like, what is this shit? This is why people like this can just exist in the world. You know what I mean? This whole idea of, like, people just thinking they can speak to somebody so disrespectfully and not, have to face reality every once in a while. She didn't even say anything mean about the in-laws. She literally just said, we don't make enough money for one of us to work and one of us to not work. Because they'd still find, like, the husband would have sufficed and probably not pissed your husband off. I don't know, man. I don't know that it wouldn't have, knowing this dude. This one still blows my mind. You're assuming a lot. You gotta check your ego at a certain point. If somebody points out, like, you know what I would be doing if I was sitting there and my wife said that to my mom, I'd be like, true. I mean, true. You know, I'd be like, if she quit her job, I mean, it'd be really, really fucking hard for us. I'd be real with you. How can I be mad? That's the real situation. That's life. What do you mean? You're literally being naive. You're living in denial. You do not make enough money. And it's fine that you don't make enough money, but you can't go talking about some stay-at-home thing and not sticking up for your wife. And then when she defends herself, she's saying, hey, we don't fucking make enough money. And all of a sudden you're upset. My guy, you don't make enough money. You don't make enough money, man. I'm sorry. Make more. You'll hear it less. Make more. Shit.